Okay, so we had a great question from one of our students the other day, asking where can I hit someone, what can I hit them with, and what will happen to them when I do it. Ultimately, it's a lifetime study, but a good place to start would be to look at cause and effect. The effect is the outcome that I'm looking to achieve, and then the cause is the tool that I employ to get the result. A lot of people mistake pain as the best effect, i.e. to shut someone down. Pain is one thing, but that doesn't translate to everyone. Not everyone is pain compliant. Compliancy in terms of responding to a wrist lock, or not everyone responds to a punch in the face either, especially if they've had a few drinks. So, and also if you're not built to cause pain, then it can be a problem for you. You know, if you don't weigh more than 50 kilos, you're going to have to change your game plan a little bit and not be so reliant on strength. So pain doesn't translate to all students. What does translate to all students is 4 achievable outcomes. First outcome could be that you will disrupt his consciousness. So that is to shut his computer down. So if you shut his computer down, he can't fight. Simple as that. Regardless of how skilled he is, if you shut it down, he won't have a chance to show you how skilled he is. So that is deliberately targeting the skull. The way you do that is to cause brain shake. So I want to shake the casing so much that the brain inside can't deal with the ferocity of the shake, and therefore it shuts down. The way it would happen is I would deliberately strike this, say in a linear fashion. That would cause the neck to the head to move back violently, which would cause the neck to spasm in response. That will cause a tightening up of the neck, and then the head would eventually slow down. What happens is the brain, which is inside, it's almost like a pickled onion floating in a jar. Hopefully not the same size as a pickled onion, but it's still moving around. So once the casing stops, the brain moves, continues to move, bangs inside the casing of the skull, and it's that causes a disruption in consciousness. Basically, the brain says, I can't deal with this, I need to reset, so it resets you by lying you down. Second achievable outcome that you can get is a disruption in the vision. So stick something in his eye, simple as that. It could be a finger, it could be a pencil, could be a liquid, etc. But if you can't see, very difficult to fight. Or even if you cut him so his blood gets into his own blood gets into his eye. If you can't see, he can't fight you. Third one would be to disrupt his pattern of breathing. Smack him in the balls. Right, so hit him in the balls with something, will certainly get a shock. But again, doesn't always work for everyone. Everyone is different. So it shouldn't be looked at as the holy grail, especially in Krav Maga. Some people immediately drop with a little flick down there, and some people have been booted there repeatedly and carry on for about 10 seconds before throwing their guts up. So it's different for everyone, alright? But that's one way you can do it. Another way you can take his breathing is to deliberately ruin the rib cage. So you could crack something, or you could stick something in between the rib cage to cause the lung to collapse. Another one would be a mobility kill. So here we're looking to break the structure, so he can't use it. So this is particularly useful if somebody is coked up, or particularly pain intolerant. So if you break the machinery, it doesn't matter. They can't physically do it. And they won't understand why they can't do it. Some people have carried on fighting, have been so adrenalised and so anaesthetised to pain that they haven't looked and the fingers bent back, or the nose is this way. Or they've been cut so much and the whole face is hanging out. Break a knee joint, or you stomp an ankle. That would be the one ways that you would kill. So to start on top, we've got our head, and then we've got our hands, then we've got our elbows, then we've got our knees and our feet, and also the shin bone as well. So let's look at combining the cause and the effect together. Okay, the head, employed as a headbutt. Where are you going to put it? Across this band of the face here like such, or along the jawline, maybe in the temple. Best result you're going to get for this is that you've bust his nose, so it's going to disrupt his vision. Unlikely to cause any loss of consciousness. So it's often used as a starter for 10. You must very quickly follow up with something else. What you don't want to do is nut him and expect that they've done the job, because you see it very often. People get nutted, they step back, and you either get 2 reactions. The guy doesn't want any more because he's seeing all the blood across his face, or you've pissed him off and then he's coming back in the fight. So nut him and then very quickly follow up. Palm strikes. Palm strikes are really specifically only for the head, because it's a hard on soft on hard principle. So this really doesn't have any merit anywhere else on the body. except for the testicles. Alright, so palm strike could be utilised here on the head or on the groin. If you target the head, then you want to shape the brain. Yeah, good spot will be on the jawline, like I said before. Jawline could be on the nose to disrupt the vision, could be on the side of the head to affect consciousness, especially if I target this part of the brain, the head, which is the brain stem. An extension to the palm strike would be the fingers to cause some kind of orbital disruption, so then it will get temporary blinding, and then it will allow you to follow up with something else, or fuck off. Simple as that. The other way you can employ the fingers would be in a scratching type motion, again to cause a flinch to get the guy away. But that's not a primary tool, it's just something that you are forced to use. So best one that you're looking at is sticking the finger in the eye, which would cause that flinch. Hammer fist. Hammer fists are the first lot of the bludgeoning tool, coupled with the elbows. So really, again, you are targeting primarily the head to cause that concussive shake. Other place it can be utilised is if you strike hard enough, you can drop the blood pressure in the neck this way, like so. You could utilise it on the back of the neck or the head, again to cause that loss of consciousness, unless you utilise it on the back of the body to weigh them down. Elbows. Elbows are second in the class for bludgeoning tools, and it's a great one because you can use it anywhere. Alright, if you smash them in the face, then you're going to cause a loss of consciousness as well as a breakage, cause muscular pain or spasm through hitting targeting big groups, cause them to bend and break and buckle if you hit them on the back. Primary use is not to cut, as it is in the sporting fashion, it is to bury it in so you break something. So if you don't have a big skill set in your toolbox, the elbow will do the job and a knee will do the job. Knees are obviously working on the low line, but we primarily target in the groin. You can target the thigh as well, but if you target the groin, you're going to affect his ability to breathe. If you target the knee to the head, then obviously you're going to affect consciousness. Just be careful when you're doing it so that you don't smash your patella on the top of his skull. You want to hit more into the sides or into the face area. Then you've got knee into the abdomen, and the groin instead will cause a loss of the ability to breathe. But if you hit into the thigh, then you're getting a mobility kill. So that's the fourth one, like we talked about. So we're not a breakage, but a muscle spasm, so you can't stand on it. I've experienced this, and when it happened to me, I immediately dropped, and I couldn't walk for 3 weeks. Shins and feet. So unless you've got really good boots on, I don't really advocate kicking so much. Shins are probably the best thing that you've got. So here we're looking at mobility kills again, and the ability to affect his breathing and also consciousness if you kick somebody in the head on the floor. It might be your objective at the time, not something that I advocate all the time, because you'll get into trouble and you won't see your family for a long time. But mobility, in terms of mobility kills, yeah, again, using the shin on the outside of the thigh will drop the person, or at least make them buckle. Using the shin or the feet will on the groin will certainly bend them and affect their ability to breathe, and kicking somebody in the head will affect their consciousness. So to summarise, disrupt his consciousness, take his vision, fuck him up with the breathing, or mobility kill him.
Hi there, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it and the content that we're putting together. If you did, then it would really help if you could like the video and subscribe to help us grow. Feel free to comment or tell us what you'd like to see on here. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.